like on any given night to have this many playmakers to get the ball to?
Yeah, I mean, as a quarterback, it's a dream. It's like a blessing. You know, you got Debo, George, B.A., Christian, list goes on. Defense does their job, so it makes life easy for me.
You got Ayuk who could go deep. You got Debo, you got Christian, you got George. There's really no weakness, and then Brock is playing as one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
At this point, I think we all need to really buckle down and officially come to the agreement that Brock Purdy not only is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC, but honestly, one of the best quarterbacks in the entirety of the NFL. What he is doing on a consistent level is absurd. As a late round draft pick, he is absolutely taking over the NFL. But I want to point out a couple of plays here during last night's game. Now, before we get into that, do me a huge favor, guys. Hit that like button. It helps out the channel so much and also gets the video out to more 49ers fans. But also, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be covering Brock Purdy and the 49ers and the rest of the NFL all year, so make sure you guys join the family. Turn on post notifications so you're notified every time we post a video. We're also going to be streaming some 49ers games in the future as well. But also, lastly, comment down below one player who has really impressed you or maybe hasn't played so well so far this season. But let's get back into one specifically being, they had George Kittle on a crossing route. Clearly you can tell, or clearly Brock Purdy could tell, it was man-to-man. The deep safety pressed up. He wanted to go, man up against Christian McCaffrey. We had press coverage against Brandon Ayuk. And then we saw there was some off coverage versus George Kittle. Now, he's going to be running a crossing route. If this linebacker doesn't drop back perfectly, it's going to be a touchdown. And that's what he reads perfectly. He knows that the linebacker right now is currently not in a good position to defend this pass at all. And George Kittle, quite frankly, is going to be wide open. Obviously, his hips are open. The linebacker's hips are open the wrong way. Brock Purdy knows all he has to do is put this on the money, and it's going to be an easy touchdown. But not only does he recognize this pre-snap during that observation, but he also realizes the pressure's coming. So many things are going through his head. Now, let's watch this real quickly one more time as he observes the pressure, steps up in the pocket, rolls out, and throws an absolute dot to George Kittle in the end zone. Now, I want to show you guys one more thing here. And listen, there's a thing called expected points per play, and he is actually ranked number 1. 0.502 compared to the second highest is Josh Allen. And, at this point, Brock Purdy's QBR rating, his rating is absurd. The highest as a quarterback has ever recorded in his first 10 starts. I mean, Brock Purdy is in a different space. He's on a different level, and he's just competing at a very, very high level. And he's been so good. He's been getting so much recognition through all of Twitter. Everyone's commenting, saying how good he is, and Richard Sherman, and everyone, Jeff Schwartz, everyone is talking about how electric this man is. In this game, he was 17 of 24, 252 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 144 passer rating. And listen, the 49ers have scored 30 points in 8 straight games. Listen, this is amazing. Brock Purdy and George Kittle last night reminded me of Brady and Gronk a little bit, man. They were amazing, and I'm just really excited for the future of this team. I mean, defensively, they're absolutely stacked, but offensively, like we heard from, Brock Purdy himself, and even Nick Bosa, Brandon Ayuk, a guy that can make plays down the field. He's been amazing to start the season. Quite frankly, probably one of the most improved wide receivers I've seen this year. Brock Purdy is playing at a MVP type of level right now with the passes that he's making, with the reads that he's making. He's, calm, composed in the pocket. The man is playing at like a robot, man. He just knows what he's doing. He knows where his receivers are going to be. We could tell he dove into the playbook and really took this offseason seriously. And then you have Deebo Samuel, a scat type of guy who can, Swiss Army knife type of guy who can play in multiple different positions, on the slot, on the outside. He can play in the backfield. He can even make some throws at times. So he's been amazing. But, man, it all stems from, Brock Purdy and the offensive line giving him time. And like we saw, George Kittle had an incredible game, 3 touchdown receptions. He looked so good in this game. But overall, this 49ers team is deadly. I mean, they should be the favorites to win it all this season. I mean, the way they've been playing, the way they've been, competing at a high level, they're composed, they're ready to go. And then I want to show you another play here. As we see, it looks like a zone coverage, and, Brock Purdy probably notices this as well. We got an in route, and we got a post route. But Brock Purdy does a great job here, dropping back in the pocket. Pressure O-line does a great job. But look at this throw. Look at this throw. You have 2 linebackers, and then you have 2 high safeties. But this is, it has to be right there for this to be a completion. And it is in the most perfect spot that you can even think of. I don't even know how Brock Purdy is making some of these throws at the level he's making. But this is a perfect read, a perfect throw. And that was on 3rd and 14. Keep in mind, this is they don't need to pick this 3rd down up. They're already up 21-10. But what a throw by Brock Purdy. This is it. Now from here, I want to talk about the defense. And the defense has been absolutely amazing this other season. And quite frankly, when have the 49ers defense not been good? I mean, for the past decade, it seems like at this point, they've been absolutely nasty, dating all the way back to Patrick Willis and all those guys back then. This defense has been really, really good. And Shanahan has done a great job making sure with all the coaches that they've lost over the past couple of years, that this defense is still playing up to par. They're currently ranking number 1 in points allowed per game. They're ranking number 3 in yards allowed per game. Number 3 in opposing touchdowns scored per game. Number 1 in opposing rushes per game. Obviously, defense or offenses need to pass the ball, and they're not even able to get their run game going, which is a huge aspect of their defense. And then, in the passing game, they're allowing the 3rd least amount of yards per pass. They're getting the 5th most interceptions. They aren't really doing primarily well getting to the quarterback and getting sacks, but they're doing a great job creating pressure, forcing bad throws, and we saw a ton of that last night versus the Cowboys. Dak Prescott was not able to get anything going, throwing almost 3 picks in a row, it seemed like at one point. But they also made a nice little trade going out and getting Randy Gregory. I talked about that in another video if you want to check that out. Absolutely stole Randy Gregory, a guy who was really productive for the Cowboys a couple of years ago, went to the Broncos, wasn't primarily productive, but he still is young, still is very hungry, and still wants to make some game-winning plays here, and he's going to add a ton of depth to their defense behind a guy like Drake Jackson, Nick Bosa. And when we see the best out of Randy Gregory, it's when he's playing with an elite core around him. And you can pretty much say that this is a very elite core here in San Francisco. But right now, as we stand, the 49ers are definitely the best team in the NFL. From what we've seen this season, they are undefeated. Brock Purdy has yet to lose a regular season game yet, and I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. I felt like the Cowboys had the biggest chance to take them down, but they were not successful, not even close. The 49ers, came out, showcased why they're still the best team in the NFL and why they're going to continue to dominate at a very high level. Comment down below what you think right now about the 49ers. Are they truly championship favorites this season? And if not, what do you think that they can do to improve? But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.